I started when I was in the Gamble Studios. I got an offer to work here to substitute for one of the teachers, one of the instructors, and I wasn't sure I could do that. So I asked my teacher how I would do as a teacher, because painting and teaching painting are two separate things sometimes. You can have a good artist who's not a very good teacher, but usually good teachers are good artists. So I started over here, and it worked out into a nice part-time work, and I always felt that the best way to learn something is to teach it. And so I started to teach, and I really enjoyed it, and the students here are really great. There have been some problems for the most part. I think the students have enjoyed it. And I like to teach in a progressive manner, where you start them off and learning to see, because if they don't see correctly, they're not going to draw or paint correctly. And this isn't modern art so much as representational art, because I still feel there's a need for that. And students, they're two separate tracks, modern art and representational art. And I think that it's really great that the Cambridge Center supports both. And I really enjoyed the fact that they're getting more representational work in the evening division, which is the one I teach in. I do teach a Wednesday afternoon class, drawing for painting, and I really consider that part of the evening division. It's like a step. I like people to go into that and then move on into my other classes, which are pastel portrait and also oil portrait. I won't be teaching the pastel portrait in the fall. I've had to give that up because I'm taking care of my sister. So.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this exhibit?
This exhibit was conceived by Valeria Martin, one of my students. She insisted that we have an exhibit. And the only time we could get a time slot, this was back in September, was for either July or next November. And we decided on July because November was almost like a year away, so that would have been too late. It takes time to line up students, and they promise to bring their pictures, and then you never see them again, because some of these students with me are long term, and some are just in and out. They're in Boston or Cambridge for a term or visiting or just working here for a while, and then they move on. So we decided to have the exhibit in July, and it is good advertising, and the students, I think it's good for the students to not just do the work, but also to see what problems you have in getting them framed and getting an exhibit together and exhibiting your work. So I thought that was very helpful.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, I've enjoyed working here at the Cambridge Center. I like it that they let you do sort of your own thing. I know there are all different types of art teachers, and that it does make some problems. Sometimes a student may come into your room and say, well, you're not teaching the way so-and-so down the hall teaches it. And in some cases they say, I like your method better. And in some cases they say, I wish you'd teach more like, the man down the woman down the hall. So I think it's nice that if you can get a group of people that, and I'm sure all the art teachers here have sort of a following that they like their particular style of work, and I think I really enjoy working here. I really enjoy teaching because I've learned more than the students have, I think.
Great.
David's classes for many years. He's taught many things, including silver point drawing, which is a very old technique of drawing with actual pieces of silver that they used in the Renaissance. So he's very traditional, and he knows these traditional secrets. He's part of a chain of instruction that went back to Ives Gammell, who was a very controversial painter in the 30s, 20s. And I really wanted to learn that traditional approach, and do all the practicing necessary. So I've taken drawing classes and life drawing and his pastel class and plein air painting classes. I've taken most of his classes.
I've been taking his classes, David's classes, for a year, and it's been very helpful for me. I take in pastel and now oil. And he's a traditional painter that gives you a lot of material to work with, but also give you freedom to express yourself. And it's been very helpful for me. And this exhibit has been an idea to show what we are doing. And I think it's part of your artwork. It's like the end of your artwork. You can show and see the feedback of your paintings and drawings.
It is a part of it. I think when you suddenly see your work up on the wall, suddenly it looks very different.
Great.
So,
Great. Anything else?
I think that's pretty much says it.
Okay, great. Just one more time, what's your name?
Janet Campbell.
Okay. And
Valeria Martin.
okay.
I would like to thank the center for this opportunity
Yeah,
and this space.
definitely.
Great.